It was exactly 3 years ago. 4 young people went missing in the forest and were never seen again. No bodies were found, no traces left behind. Since that day, only one rumor kept circulating in the village. At night, the light in the cabin still turns on. Deep in the forest north of Avolk, there was a forgotten cabin. It belonged to no one, or at least no one remembered who it once belonged to. Over time, it had become covered in moss. The windows cracked, the door rusted shut. But everyone in the village knew one thing: stay away from that place. Zeynep, a university student and amateur photographer, was spending her summer in the village with her family. But the peace and quiet of the countryside were becoming too much for her. She craved adventure. One day an old woman in the village mentioned the cabin and her curiosity flared. "No one goes there," she asked. The woman squinted. "Don't go. Anyone who opens that door can't close it again." Zeynep had never been one to heed such warnings. That night, with only her camera and flashlight, she set off into the forest. The woods were unnervingly silent. The wind rustled the leaves in a way that sounded like whispers. According to her watch, it was 2:17 a.m. when she finally saw it silhouetted between the trees. The cabin, a faint light glowed from within, but no one lived there. She approached carefully. Her heart thudded in her chest as her hand touched the rusty doorknob. It turned easily. The door creaked open with a long, echoing groan, releasing a moldy, decaying scent. The inside was empty, but at the center of the room, embedded in the floor, was a wooden trapdoor. It was secured with a chain, though the chain had rusted nearly to dust. Zeynep aimed her camera and started recording. Suddenly, a sound click. She spun around. The front door had shut, but there was no wind. She turned back toward the trapdoor. There was a low hum coming from beneath it, like muffled whispers coming through tightly closed lips. "Come. Don't leave us. Open the door." Logic screamed at her to leave, but curiosity won. She pulled off the rusted chain. The whispering grew louder. She lifted the trapdoor. A narrow stone staircase led downward into darkness. Zeynep hesitated only for a second, then descended. The air grew colder with every step. At the bottom was a tight corridor made of stone, covered in strange, ancient symbols. Some looked drawn in something that resembled dried blood. She came to a metal door, rusted and ancient. On it was scratched a single word: "Don't," but she opened it. Total darkness, but not emptiness. She felt something in the blackness eyes. Hundreds of them, watching from all directions. Her flashlight flickered and died. Her camera trembled. Then came the whisper: "You're the last. There is no way out." A scream echoed, but it was swallowed by the dark. When Zeynep opened her eyes again, she was suspended in a space that was both vast and claustrophobic. An endless void, but with an undeniable sense of place. Voices echoed in her mind. "Stay. Become one of us." She tried to move her body, didn't respond. Then she saw the figures. Faint, twisted human shapes. Faces that had decayed, distorted, or were never finished. Eyes hollow. They all stared at her. One of them spoke. "You are the fifth." Zeynep forced herself to speak. "What does that mean? Who are you?" Another figure stepped forward. "4 came before you. All disappeared, or so you thought. But we've always been here. You see us once you open the door, but you can't leave." Her camera suddenly powered on in her pocket. It began playing back the footage. But something was wrong. The video didn't show her from the outside, showed her perspective, as if her own eyes had been the lens. And then it changed. From the moment she stepped into the basement, she was gone from the footage. Just an empty corridor, as if she had never existed. But the audio remained. Footsteps, whispers, breathing, a scream. Zeynep shouted, "I will get out of here." But one of the figures floated toward her. Its face was a void, but its thoughts filled her head. "Everyone says that, but you complete the circle. We are the ones who remained. And now, so will you." She ran into the darkness. No direction, no logic, just pure fear. The walls of the void pulsed around her. Arms reached from the shadows, grabbing at her. Then she saw it. A light. A wooden door, faintly glowing, like daylight on the other side. She lunged, grabbed the handle, and flung it open. She woke up in the village square. The morning sun warmed her face. A crowd had gathered. Her parents, the mayor, the villagers. She had been missing for 7 days. They said the cabin had collapsed into rubble. No one could get inside. But somehow, Zainab had gotten out, and something about her had changed. Her eyes no longer looked the same. She mumbled in her sleep, over and over again. I opened the door. Now it's your turn. Since that day, she was never the same. She stopped photographing people. Or rather, she stopped photographing their faces. Her camera focused on something deeper. And one evening, a group of new tourists arrived in the village. Young, curious, city kids. Zainab invited them for tea. And all through the night, one question repeated softly from her lips. Have you ever wondered why no one goes under the cabin anymore? As the guests laughed around the table, sipping tea and listening to Zainab's calm voice, something in her eyes flickered. She smiled, but it was a smile that didn't quite reach her soul. One of the visitors, a skeptical boy named Sem, raised an eyebrow. Waiter, you saying you went into the cursed cabin and lived to tell the tale? Zainab sipped her tea slowly. I didn't say I lived. I said I returned. The group chuckled awkwardly. One of the girls, Selin, took out her phone and began filming. We should totally go check it out tomorrow, she said. Let's document everything. Could go viral. Zainab tilted her head. Why wait for tomorrow? Night had fallen completely by the time they reached what was left of the cabin. All that remained was a stone foundation and a few splinters of charred wood. But something was off. In the center of the ruins, covered by overgrowth and dirt, was the trapdoor, still intact. Selin gasped. No way. I thought this place burned down. It did, Zainab whispered. But some doors don't burn, they remember. Sem crouched beside the trapdoor and brushed off the dirt. The same rusted chain still lay there like it had never moved. And then they heard it. Tap, 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 from beneath. Everyone froze. Selin laughed nervously. Probably a raccoon or something. Or, you guys planted a speaker, right? Zainab didn't answer. She was staring at the trapdoor as if in a trance. It wants you to open it. Sem shook his head. Nope, not falling for it. Creepy story, but I'm not opening anything. Then came the second sound. A voice. Faint. Childlike. Mommy, is someone there? I'm cold. Selin's face turned pale. That sounded like a kid. They stared at each other in disbelief. Logic told them to run. But something stronger, curiosity, maybe pulled them closer. And Zainab just watched. Eventually, Sem gave in. With shaking hands, he pulled the chain loose. The trapdoor groaned open. A cold breeze swept upward. Darkness and a staircase. Sem clicked on his flashlight. Just 5 minutes. I'll check it out and come right back up. He descended. Then silence. 1 minute passed. Then 3. Then came the scream. But it wasn't from below. It was from above. The group looked up. In the trees. Figures. Dozens of them. Hanging upside down among the branches. Faces distorted, mouths stretched open as if in eternal silent screams. One by one, their eyes snapped open, and all looked at Zainab. The circle is complete, she said softly, but now, it must begin again. Selin ran. She didn't care where, just away. But the woods had changed. Paths twisted unnaturally. The air thickened like syrup. Every direction looped back to the ruins. And the trapdoor was still open. Zainab stood by it, alone now, whispering downward. Bring them to, one by one, feed the dark, until the door closes itself. Then, from the black below, a hand reached up, not Sem's, not human, and it pulled her in. The trapdoor slammed shut. The next morning, the police found nothing but a scorched foundation. No trapdoor, no stairs, no Zainab, only Selin's phone, lying in the dirt. Its screen cracked. The last video showed her face, panicked, whispering, Don't go near her, don't believe her. She's not human anymore. The door isn't just a place, it's a hunger, then static, and silence.